Hi, Nancy. How are you?
Hey, Kyle. I'm good.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
First off, this is such a fun project. So cool to hear this record from Roadcase Royale. Congratulations on the next chapter, I guess. Right?
Well, yes. Thank you. It's really exciting, this project right now. Kind of got to say it's a bit of a lifesaver for me because everybody in this band it feels like we're on a honeymoon or something together. We're just starting out on this great big tour, and people are flipping out for the album, and there's been lots and lots of super strong positive feedback for the album already. And the shows that we're opening for Bob Seger, we're doing a bunch of heart music as well. So people are kind of coming in early and checking us out, and we're getting just really positive response. They're standing up, you know.
Yeah, something for the opener. If you can get the crowd standing up for the opener, of course.
I know. That's sort of like never happens, you know. It's usually like, oh, just trickle in who's ever playing first, you know, just see. But this, so far, we're like on our sixth Bob Seger show, and every single time it's pretty full by the second or third song, and by the end of our 45-minute set, they're standing up. So it's really cool.
All right.
I'm knocking on wood, and I'm hoping it continues as good as this.
Well, I think, you know, with no disrespect to the rest of the band, I have a feeling that some of that at least goes because you are, you know, such a legend in the field, and especially when you're opening up with someone like Bob Seger. You know, I'm sure most of those people know just who you are and are excited to see you. So, but does it feel like, in a way, that you're having to I don't know if start over is the right, but, you know, prove yourself again? Does it feel like that?
Yes, absolutely feels it's it's sort of starting at the beginner start line again, because, you know, they're billing it as Nancy Wilson of Heart with Roadcase Royale. So it's gaining some momentum as Roadcase Royale by way of Nancy Wilson of Heart, and which is fine. I really don't mind trading one for the other, kind of trading the horse trading of all that, you know. Because Heart's a well-respected rock and roll outfit, you know, and I had a lot to do with making it that way. So, but it's also interesting to feel like just starting now. It's like we have one tour bus, we have no truck, we're pulling a trailer, and all 10 of us are in the one bus, you know, and it's like, okay, pizza after the show, okay. And I know pizza is standard for everyone everywhere, but there's no real food in sight, so
right.
We're still trying to figure out the part about how do we get dinner. But you know, so we're paying our dues, but the shows are worth it. I mean, the shows are amazing, so that's what we keep our concentration on.
Right. Well, I think you know, for a lot of people who's getting familiar with this, what exactly is the history of the band? Where does it start? Because from what I understand, it sort of starts from a place of loss for both you and Liv, right?
That's right. When I met Liv, well, first I saw her on the Jimmy Fallon show doing her song "Why Do You Lie" with her band Blackbird at the time, and just stunning. You know, it was just like somebody had told us, "You've got to check this girl out," and so we did, and we were just floored with her energy, her vibe, everything, her voice, everything. And we asked her then to open for Heart at the Hollywood Bowl for 2 nights, and she did, and we hit it off. And you know, she was like, "Oh, you have a rock band. I want to have more. I want to rock more. I want to write rock songs. Can I send you some of my rock music?" And I'm like, "Yes, I love your stuff. I love the funk, and I love the R&B of what you do. And so let's talk about this." And so she sent me some of her stuff that she worked on with Ryan Waters, her guitarist, musical director guy, who both of them together were Prince proteges, and loved it, loved their stuff, and said, "Well, why don't we talk about doing something and actually try to get together and do something?" So, and then we did, and it became, you know, I've got some players I want to play, always want to play with, and with Liv and Ryan plugged into that, to my Heart guys, we just instantly became. And the energy was super positive and good, and you know, there's no kind of ego or power trip. anywhere. It's my favorite place to be is in Roadcase Royale.
That's so cool. So does it does the writing feel? I'm guessing the writing feels different for this because it's not Heart. It's still a rock band, but there's definitely some other elements in there. And have you noticed like the biggest difference writing for Roadcase versus writing for Heart?
Yeah, I mean, the sound of Roadcase Royale songs has got a lot more of the Ryan Waters amazing blues, kind of riffy, Zeppelin-y kind of influences in it, and R&B as well, funky too. So it kind of bridges from rock into R&B into sort of a rock and soul sound.
Yeah.
People are talking about with our sound, which I love that because as a guitar player, that's really fun stuff to do. Like it's kind of like playing in Zeppelin in a certain way. Some of our songs really have that almost classic blues rock element. And Liv is an amazing songwriter too. She comes up with these melodies that are. So I guess what I'm saying is the biggest difference I feel working with Roadcase Royale as a songwriter, as a collaborator with all the songwriters in the band, of which they are all 6 of us. It's a bigger collaboration, and there's more. It's a garden where everybody's growing something that everybody else wants. So the garden is really full of good stuff to draw from. With Heart, it was usually 2 or 3 people writing, me and Anne and our friend Suenis. And sometimes it would feel like an obligation to fulfill, the quota of songwriting that was necessary to make the next album happen. And so there were a lot of times where it came very easily, and a lot of other times over the decades, of course, that was felt kind of forcing it, trying really hard to create new material for Heart. And when you have a perception to fill, like Heart had a perception of what types of Heart songs people went for, then that sort of narrowed the field a little bit more in certain circumstances. But with Roadcase Royale, there's no fulfillment required. We're starting brand new, and we're making our own brand new imprint with whatever style we want. So it's very cool. It's quite it's a wonderful lesson to be starting over.
Well, the songs on it are huge. I mean, of course, Get Loud, not only is a big sound, but it's saying so much. I mean, it's sort of an anthem for the time. Like,
right.
How did that one come about?
I know that one. My collaborator friend Sue Ennis from many years of collaboration. She still works on songs with me sometimes, and she had these lyrics because she's really up. She's all for women's causes, as am I, as we always have been. We wrote "Even It Up," quite a few years ago, and so we've always had that in our cap. We've been smoking that in our songwriting pipe for a long time, and so "Get Loud" was just a natural next step into a song like "Even It Up." Chris, our keyboard player, Chris Joyner, he had this amazing groove already, and so we kind of, with Liv's melodies and me and Liv working over the lyrics and putting them to the groove, it just came together really great. And we got it out there pretty quickly because the women's marches on Washington and in, I think it was Houston, maybe Dallas. Well, actually, it was all over the globe. There was some women's marches happening. So we just shot it out there as fast as we could get it out there for those causes and for human rights,
Right. And I mean that kind of comes up a few times on the record that I noticed, which how can it not? I mean, most of my conversations these days with artists, that's what it's about, which I appreciate.
Oh God,
yeah, I appreciate when you all take those moments to not only reflect the times but to say something. I mean, those are always my favorite songs. So put this one in that canon as well.
Yeah. I mean, of all the times we've had to live through, these are even more troubling than many that I can remember from before. And so I think it helps. I mean, songs that are built that way for people that message affirmative to people and give them some kind of hope and some kind of an opinion to sort of like a flotation device, in these times. It's sort of the least you can do as a songwriter, because songs are that important to people. Songs are like life rafts sometimes. And, so it's good to do that without over politicizing yourself either. But I think the more the merrier, where it's not offensive to too many people.
Yeah, right. Well, I certainly do appreciate it. Like I said, I've loved Get Loud and a few others on there. And by the way, the Dragon also, after I learned what it's about, I guess a story that you'd sort of wrote about Lane, but after Chris passed, it became about that. And I'd become a little close with Chris through a lot of interviews that we had done. And when I heard that, it was just, a beautiful moment
Wow.
and an unfortunate moment.
Yeah. I didn't, I wrote it for one person, but now that it's finally finished, all these years later, it becomes, a tribute to way more than one person.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's an addictive, insidious addiction that can creep up and take your loved ones away. And it's always kind of right around the corner. And, it's a cautionary sort of song to try to help somebody before they're taken. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things.
It's a beautiful song. It's a great record. I don't want to end on a down note right there because it is a hell of a record that you guys have done. And, just
Thank you.
yeah, happy to hear that you're having such a great time out there.
It's true. Like I said, it's kind of a honeymoon era right now. And we've got weeks to go, so we'll see how, that turns out after pizza on the bus for 6 more weeks.
Right. Well, hopefully the diet improves a little bit. Even though I love pizza and your voice as well, because you.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, thank you so
Thanks
much.
a lot.
It was great talking to you.
Okay, you too, Kyle. Thanks.
All right, take care.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Thanks, Kyle.